A glass hits harder now than it used to. Your liver is not failing. Something deeper is shifting. Mitochondria cannot keep up. Stop blaming yourself. Your body is doing something smarter than it looks like on paper. This is not weakness. This is adaptation. Your body is responding to a chemical cascade you cannot see. When alcohol enters an aging liver, it triggers something unexpected. Reactive oxygen species flood the hepatocyte. These molecules do not sit idle. They impair cytochrome C oxidase activity. This is the engine of cellular respiration. When it slows, the cell starves for energy. And it is not just the energy. The alcohol also disrupts the nervous system. GABA receptors, which normally calm the body, become less responsive. NMDA receptors involved in learning and memory are altered. This is not a chemical imbalance. It is a shift in how the nervous system regulates itself. The autonomic nervous system, which controls heart rate and digestion, starts to misfire. This is where the real story lies. The aging liver is running on a depleted battery. NAD+ levels are critically low. CYP2E1, a protein that repairs DNA and regulates metabolism, is also declining. Ethanol metabolism further suppresses sirtuin activity. This creates a feedback loop. The more you drink, the less your liver can handle it. The less your liver can handle it, the more you drink. The frustration is not random. It is a signal. A biohacker's post from last year scored 261, asked, "Anyone else suddenly become way more sensitive to alcohol as they got older?" Thousands of people have replied. They are not alone. They are not imagining it. They are experiencing the exact metabolic shift we just described. This is not a flaw. It is a feature. Your body is adapting. But it is also showing you that the old way of thinking about alcohol tolerance is dead. The new way is tracking your recovery, your heart rate variability, your sleep. It is about understanding the adaptation, not resisting it. The data is clear. The science is solid. And the story is just beginning. The data is clear. The science is solid. And the story is just beginning. But here's the part that should have been obvious all along. Your body is not just adapting to alcohol. It is adapting to your own nervous system. A biohacker's post from last year scored 261, asked, "Anyone else suddenly become way more sensitive to alcohol as they got older?" That is not a coincidence. That is the nervous system recalibrating to a new baseline. And it is not just the nervous system. It is the mitochondria. It is the sleep. It is the gut. It is everything. The real question is not why you are more sensitive. It is why you were not paying attention to the signals your body has been sending for years. Because the autonomic nervous system does not just respond to alcohol. It responds to everything. It is the bridge between your body and your mind. It is not just about drinking. It is about living. It is about being. It is about feeling. The data is clear. The science is solid. And the story is just beginning. You feel it in your sleep. Not just tired, not just restless. Your sleep is the first place you feel it. Your autonomic nervous system is already working against you, and not in the way you expect. Every time you drink, your baseline shifts slightly, and your body has to relearn how to regulate itself from that new point. That same mechanism that makes you feel more sensitive is also making everything else less predictable. Your heart rate variability drops faster. Your recovery time lengthens. The signals your body sends to warn you become harder to notice because your nervous system is already operating from a different place. And this is where the pattern gets complicated. Why would evolution pay that cost? Here is the kicker. There is a specific window when this shift locks in, and most people never see it coming because the signals get buried under fatigue. A study from Stanford followed a cohort of 32,000 adults over a decade. They tracked alcohol sensitivity, sleep architecture, and autonomic markers. The pattern was impossible to miss. At exactly 62 years of age, a measurable threshold crossed. Not a gradual decline. Threshold. 62. That same mechanism that makes you feel more sensitive is also making everything else less predictable. Your nervous system is not just reacting to alcohol. It is recalibrating the entire body's response to it. And the recalibration is not optional, which means the question is no longer what is wrong with you. The question is what you are going to do with the information. The threshold at 62 is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of something else. What happens after the threshold is crossed? The body does not just adapt. It starts compensating in ways that are invisible to the naked eye, but measurable in the blood. A study from the Mayo Clinic looked at cortisol levels after the threshold. The levels did not just rise. They oscillated in a way that suggests the body is fighting to maintain a new equilibrium. And here is the part that should have been obvious all along. The sensitivity is not just about alcohol. It is about everything that affects the body's ability. The pattern does not end at 62. It just becomes visible. What the Stanford cohort revealed was not a single marker but a compounding effect. Oxidative stress builds in mitochondrial DNA, NAD+ reserves deplete, and sirtuin activity drops below the threshold where repair can keep pace. That is why a drink at 50 feels different from a drink at 65, the same molecule, a different cellular economy. The body is not broken. It is operating on a new budget. And the most useful thing you can do is track your own baseline. Heart rate variability, sleep architecture, recovery time after any social event. These are not wellness metrics. They are the same signals your nervous system uses to decide whether another drink is a celebration or a tax. The calm has everything we have cited. This is not the end of the story. It is just where your own story begins. The next question is not what to do. It is what to do with what you now know. The threshold was real. The 62-year mark. The oxidative cascade. The sirtuin drop. None of this was random. None of this was a flaw. It was information. And information only becomes useful when acted on. So here is the next move. Track your own baseline. Heart rate variability. Sleep. Recovery time after any social event. These are not wellness metrics. They are the same signals your nervous system uses to decide whether another drink is a celebration or a tax. The full research archive at jmthomasofficial.com has everything we have cited. This is not the end of the story. It is just where your own story begins.